I want to look you in your eyes while you tell me your lies. Hi girls and gals, welcome back to my channel. It's Queen Yaya here, and today we have another episode of Black Girl Dating Stories Japan. Now, this is episode 5, I believe. If you haven't watched episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want you to go ahead and do that. I created a playlist of all the Black Girl Dating Stories in order so you can, kind of keep up with it or catch up. So today we're going to be talking about dating Caucasians and tourists. So Caucasians, white people. Yes, I do date white people too. Like I said, going on dates. If you're caught up with the other dating stories, you do know my preference, or I hope you know my preference is black men. But whoever is going to treat me the best is who I'm going to end up actually being with. So now that that's out there. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about, our stories for today. So actually, one of the men I'm dating right now is a white man from America. And today I'm just going to be talking about 2 of them that I've dated. The one I'm currently dating, and somebody I dated like maybe last year. And then we're going to talk about tourists, because the one I dated last year, not only was he a white man, but he was also a tourist. He wasn't native to, he didn't live in Japan. Okay. He was a local to Japan, not native. So the white man I'm currently dating, he's all right. I've had a really great time with him. We have been dating for 3-4 months now, and it has been an absolutely amazing experience. I've gone to like all tons of new restaurants that I didn't know about in Tokyo, and it's really always like top quality 4-star, 5-star, Michelin star kind of places, and I love that luxurious life. That's actually what I can describe it as. It's been a 3-4 months of luxurious dating, and we have kind of simmered down a little bit, because at this point we are let me stop. I don't know how to put it in such a way that doesn't sound some kind of way, but I believe you understand what I'm getting at. So last time I saw him was last week, I think, and before that I hadn't seen him for like 3 weeks or so, but I was going through something, so he reached out and I was like, just give me some time. But anyway, it's actually been a very pleasant experience. It's not like my other story times where it's like, oh baby mama or whatever. But both the Caucasian men that I'm talking about in our story time today are much older men. So they're men with like a divorce under their belt and like multiple children from their marriage. Ooh. So me dating them was never really with the intention of being in a relationship with them, because if I'm dating you with that kind of intention, like not even upfront, but like that kind of, okay, this can be a potential boyfriend, then I wouldn't even go out with any of them, because they have children, and you guys know how I feel about men with kids. Not for me. It's not for me, not at this stage of my life. No. Maybe that opinion can change in a couple of years or so when my dating pool is much older, but for now, no thank you. But yeah, that's the first man. I'm still, currently talking to that person. And the second man is from like a year ago. Like I said, not only was he white, but he was not local to Japan. The guy I'm dating, the white man I'm talking about dating now, he lives in Japan. He's been here for donkey years. But the other guy, his job would send him to Japan like every 3 to 4 months or so. So he would visit often, but he does not live in Japan. So when we actually initially matched on whatever we matched on, I think Bumble, he, explained it to me. He said, actually, this is like this trip is going to be over. Like the current trip he's on is going to be over in like 3 days or so. And the next day was like the only opportunity he would have. And I didn't mind. The next day was a weekday, and I'm the kind of person, like, I don't like to go out in the week, during the week, because I'm tired. I get home from work, I want to sleep, and I have work the next day. So I'm just trying to get home and eat and shower and sleep. But I made an exception for some reason. I was just feeling like I was just in the mood for it. So he came to my station. He found a restaurant on my station, and he asked me, he was like, should I come pick you up? I was like, no, I'll just meet you there. And so I met him there, and we had a really, really nice fancy dinner. And we, you know, great conversation, nothing awkward or nothing. And after that, he put me in a taxi and I went home. And after that date, we actually only went out on one date. But after that one date, you know, like I said, he left the country a couple of days after, and we continued talking. And I remember maybe a few months after, his job sent him to Indonesia, and he texted me. He was like, oh, I'm in Indonesia. I'm like, why are you telling me this? Are you trying to fly me out to Indonesia, sir? I mean, I didn't say that, but in my mind I was like, I will pack my bags right now. I'm playing. Let's get into tourists and why I personally recommend everybody to date tourists that come to your country. So when I first joined the dating sites or whatnot, I would intentionally stay away from tourists just because, I don't know, I was just so focused on, oh, I want to be in a relationship. And obviously, if you're a tourist, you don't live in my country, and I don't want to start a relationship long distance. Like, my love language is a quality time. You cannot give me quality time from a different continent or a different country. So it just made sense to me that I would not, you know, if I'm swiping and I see your bio or whatever says just visiting, or if I actually get to talking to you and I'm like, okay, what brings you to Japan, or I'm on vacation, I automatically lost interest. But I don't even know who changed, which experience was the first to change my mind. But like the Caucasian man, I'm gonna stick to 2 tourist stories just to keep the video to a reasonable length. So one of the tourists that I met, other than the Caucasian guy that I just told you about, was young black man from America. He was in Japan, I think end of last year, maybe like November-ish, October, November, December, I don't know, one of those months. And we matched and we started talking, you know, what brings you to Japan? Oh, I'm just on vacation. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And he said, you know, not to be forward, but, you know, he would like to take me on a date. I'm like, oh, you're fine. I love forward. I love dates. Take me on a date. That is how you do it. Don't text me endlessly for weeks upon weeks. I want to meet you. I want to look you in your eyes while you tell me your lies. I'm just playing, but I'm not. So we had a plan to meet up the next day, and I had some stuff to do in Tokyo. So I told him, you know, when I'm done, we'll meet up in the evening. I head over there, and I get to the restaurant, and he's not there yet. So I sit down, I order a drink, and then he texts me. He's like, oh, he's running like 5 minutes late. He just got into the park and he's walking towards the restaurant now. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm sitting there, I get my drink, and I'm looking through the menu, and he walks in with the biggest bouquet of flowers that I have ever gotten till today. And I was like, that was obviously not like, that was just such a sweet gesture for me. And I was like, okay. So now on my Bumble profile, because I only have Bumble, I wrote it there, like my bio is very short. I say, you know, you will not text me to death, meaning I don't do the back and forth for ages before we meet each other. I appreciate dates. And then after that, I was like, if we match, add me on Instagram. And I put my Instagram there, just like I'm gonna put my Instagram right here for you to follow me. And also the last thing I said is I like flowers. So I was like, and then when he gave me the flowers and we hugged each other and I sat down, and he was like, yeah, he read my Bumble profile, and he was like, you know what, she wrote it there, let me do something about it. And I was like, that's really sweet. I'm glad you paid attention. So pay attention to people's profiles. And we had dinner, and after dinner, I think we parted ways. I went home. But before going home, part of our conversation was there was an event in Tokyo in like 2 days that I had gotten tickets for. I was going by myself, but I was really looking forward to it. It was going to be on a Friday night. I told him about the event, and he was like, you know, after you're done with your event, do you want to, you know, grab dinner, grab some drinks, since it's Friday, you know, it's the weekend and whatnot. I told him that, yeah, after my event, I can definitely, you know, let him know, and we'll meet somewhere and do whatever. After my event, we met up, we had dinner, and we went to Hooters. So we had dinner at Hooters and we started drinking there because I love a good cocktail. Mix me some alcohol and some juice, give it to me, any form. I love a cocktail. So at Hooters, we started drinking there, and we were there till like maybe midnight, 1 a.m. Then we left from there, and I was like, you know, you cannot go back without going to Roppongi. And so we took a taxi from wherever we were. I don't even remember which Hooters we went to, but it was somewhere in Tokyo. We took a taxi, went to the Hooters, went to Roppongi, went to a bar there. Since it was Friday, you know, Roppongi was bustling, there was people around. And we continued drinking there till I want to believe like 3:30. And after that, I was like, you know what? I am pooched. I've been wearing heels since like 6 p.m. My feet hurt. I'm trying to go home. And we, you know, he went outside, he called me an Uber, and the Uber took me home. And after that, while he was still in Japan, we texted a little bit, like he had some questions about, you know, he's trying to get this or get that. And I tried my best to direct him. And so that was the end of that. Okay. Taurus number 2 that I'm going to talk about. This was in, I want to believe February or January of this year. One of those months. But again, black guy from America. He came to Japan to celebrate his birthday. And this is one thing that I love about dating tourists, is because they come to a foreign country, obviously stacked, because they are prepared to have a good time. They save up their money to prepare to spend. They come ready. So when you are hanging out with them, or at least the people I've hung out with, they are able to foot the bill for your travelations. I require you to pay the bill. If I go out with you the first date, and the thing is, when I go out, I'm ready. It's not like I'm trying to mooch off you or nothing, but that's just what I require. So when I go out, I am prepared to pay the bill, because I have had situations where people are like, you know, let's split the bill. And I split the bill, no problem. You're just not for me at that like after that, you're no longer for me. I have nothing against you. We can continue talking. I'll probably never go out with you again. Or even if we are going out, you know, I understand that we are going out as friends. This is not a date. This is just 2 friends hanging out. But yeah, I require it. So anyway, second guy, that was way off topic. Second guy, we matched again. He told me he was in town for like 2 weeks or so. He had a longer time here. And we met up for the first time, went to this, he actually asked me for a recommendation, and I took him to this burger place that had this amazing view of Tokyo Skytree. So we went there, had dinner, then we went by the river, and we just sat there and we just watched it was evening time, so the lights of the Skytree came on, and it was doing all of that, and it was really beautiful. And after that, I went out with him like 3 times, I believe. After that, I think the next day we went out again. We got some drinks, and then a couple of days later, we got some drinks again before he continued his vacationing, and I didn't see him again until up until he left the country. And I never even talked to him again. Not like we ended up on a bad note. We just had our fun when we had our fun, and then we never spoke again. But the moral of like half of this story time is date the tourist. And if you're you know, trying to have a one-night stand, what better person than a tourist, where you're sure that in a week's time they are going to be on another continent. You will probably never ever see them again. So yes, that is the end of today's episode of my dating stories. Now that we're here, I want to thank you guys, because on my channel, my dating stories are getting the most interaction. Yes. So they are consistently having the most views. They are having a lot of likes. Keep the comments coming. And I just really want to thank you guys for that. If you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, onegaishimasu. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It helps me a lot. Leave me a comment down below. And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Until next time.